Hey, welcome to another Q&A for the San Francisco Independent Film Festival 2025. Today we have the director of Silent Notes, Tony Comas. Tony, how you doing?
Hi, Jason. How are you? Hi, San Francisco.
All right, good to have you. Where are you calling in from?
Actually right now I'm in Barcelona. I live
Wow.
in New York. I live in New York. Sorry about that. But I'm staying in Barcelona. I'm traveling to New York tomorrow. Yeah.
You live in New York,
Yeah.
and
And
the whole movie takes place in New York. Where does it take place in New York, about?
well, actually it takes place everywhere but Manhattan. We really like to explore many places on Queens and Brooklyn. We went to Brighton Beach, to Corona, Flushing, all that New York that New Yorkers love, the real one.
Yeah, I love New York, and I loved seeing all the different locations.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
Did that provide a challenge? Talk a little bit about that. Did you scout it out way before you started writing, or was it already set?
Totally. Actually, we scouted, and it was so much fun scouting because that helped me on the writing and 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 even like deciding what kind of cast I was going to have for that kind of location, observing the people that lives there. So yeah, definitely was an inspiration to go
So,
to those places. Yeah.
was your script already completed and finished when you went to scout, or did you kind of do it simultaneously, or then you get inspired by the location?
I got inspired by the location always, and my script is never finished. It's finished when you see it on the screen. No, I really mean it. I mean, I'm always open with actors, and yeah, if there is a change on the location, I try to react to it. I'm not trying to translate what was happening in one location and try to do it in another one. I look at the new location and I see, okay, there are more possibilities here. Let's embrace this new place. So yeah, definitely scouting and going around in the city, it really helped me to build the script. Yeah.
And how well do you know New York? Have you lived there for a long time that you are able to, kind of let it influence you, inspire you?
Yeah, well, I lived there for 14 years, 1-4. You never get to know New York completely, but I can say that I got an idea of how New York it is. I can move myself around very comfortable. Yeah,
I
I
think
can.
you captured it wonderfully. I mean, it's such the essence, such the mood, the emotion of. I mean, I feel like you're native. With
Thank you.
their locations, the shots you chose. It's a beautiful film. I love some of the interstitial kind of transition shots of like the subway or the train or the skyline,
Right,
right?
right,
As
right.
well as just then kind of at street level with the
Yeah,
facades, the buildings where the characters
totally. Yeah,
live.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
we feel like we're there. And then on top of it, your casting's wonderful. I mean, are these all actors, or some of these people seem like native New Yorkers?
Actually, all of them are actors, except for probably a little, like a couple of them, but most many of them are actors, and yet the cast was fantastic and really the cast really inspired. The I don't know if you are aware, but the main actor Daniel Durant, he's deaf, he's completely deaf.
Well, that
So
was going to be a
so
question of mine. Yeah.
yeah, right, yeah, right. So well, so that is telling you how the casting impacted the whole process. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was really, yeah.
Well, before we get to Daniel with the wonderful performance, the two leads, wonderful performance, I
Yeah,
just want to talk about
but
the secondary actors or cast because
the
they're
right.
so authentic. The fact that you got authentic casts across the board just made the whole movie work and real. Down to, for example, I love the two women. Well, maybe there's more women, but the restaurant owner, the
Yeah,
woman
right,
with
right, right. Oh, she's fantastic. Oh, yeah, yeah.
and the mom of the accountant. I forgot the
Yeah,
character.
right, right, right. Yeah, the Italian woman. Yeah, totally. I have to say that I did spend a lot of energy on the casting, and I know what I was looking for. I need faces. I need faces that describe and give you a lot of information right away before speaking. And with that, I need actors who can act and improvise. So it was a lot of fun. With like trying to get in, I have those faces on my room. I remember before making the movie, and I could see the movie by looking at the faces. So yeah, so they are very. very
Wow.
particular faces if you pay attention to it. Yeah,
Yeah, well done. Fantastic job casting.
great. Thank you.
Across the board, right? And I like that you didn't skimp on the secondary and smaller roles, but then
Yeah,
also the
right.
two lead roles, um,
Mm.
very just wonderful performances. Now it makes a little bit of sense, not to diminish his acting, but the lead actor with being deaf, totally believable on every aspect.
Well, it's not demeaning him. It's actually he got a huge challenge making this film, and it was very difficult for both of us. And we have to work a lot before we start shooting. Me and Daniel. The reason why is because he he communicates himself by using sign language. And then I told him that that was not going the way he was going to communicate in the film. He was not going to use sign language. So he will have to express, his face was going to be the one who was going to say everything. Everything was going to go through his face. So that was very challenging for him. And he has to actually change, like adjust and work a lot we work a lot on that. So he did amazing. He did fantastic. And
It
he's
was his first notion to go and sign? Like,
yeah. It is
yeah.
actually he's at the beginning of the film. He's playing a character that could hear. So it is the first time that you have a deaf actor playing a character that is not deaf. You have there is no other movies that happens. So he's actually playing somebody who can actually hear a little bit,
Wow.
and the hearing is he's losing it as the movie progress. So yeah, that was a lot of work. Uh, I have to say though that my team pushed me to choose a deaf actor, and I'm very proud of them. The reason why
Were you
they
considering other actors that were
yes,
not deaf?
totally. Yes, totally. I was seeing many actors, and for me was not a preference. They told me that it would be fair to have a deaf actor to represent the community because there are not many roles for deaf actors. Um, and I didn't care about that. The reason why I did it is because when I saw Daniel, I knew that he could take the movie somewhere else, and that was what really mattered to me. And he did it, and he did that, and
Yeah.
I'm very proud though. I'm very proud though that actually he's deaf, meaning that he's deaf, that he's represented the deaf community. That is something that gives visibility. You have to think that we made this movie before Coda, so he was not even like a famous actor or anything,
Mm.
and it was great to have him and the control that he has of the scene all the time, and yeah, it was a great artistic experience.
Yeah, yeah. And also, where is he from? Because he also kind of, fits right into, the Manhattan,
But
Queens, New York. He looks like he's from there too.
no, but he's not from New York. I don't
Yeah,
remember he was born. He was living in many places. I
uh-huh.
believe now he's in California,
I
but
see.
he's not from New York. I don't think he's from New York.
I gotcha. And
Yeah.
then, was there a challenge? I know you said there were. What kind of challenges directing him? Like, did it cause
Well,
time
yeah,
constraints or?
okay. Yeah, let me talk about that. The first day of shooting, I never worked with a deaf actor before. I was I was very concerned about how it was going to go. I mean, I learned so much from him because he was so precise working, and actually, I didn't have any issues with him. And I learned,
Wow.
honestly, I have to make sure that my communication was straightforward with him, and the directions that I gave to him were very specific, just to save energy.
Yeah.
And then I realized that that's what you should do with every single actor.
Mm.
Sometimes, like directors, we talk too much and we confuse people. Sometimes we just have to say nothing.
Right,
Things are
right.
working well. Yeah, sometimes things are happening. Just don't say anything. Or if you have to say something, just say it. And I remember with Daniel, I will tell him, looking at him, like literally, I will say, like, look, 3 steps, look to the left. You are concerned. 2 seconds, look to the right and leave, because he knew everything was happening on the script. He knew
Yeah.
I didn't have to explain to him the situation. He knew the emotions and everything. I was just working with him on the blocking, and he was like so precise with that.
Yeah.
So it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like those are techniques or experiences you can take forward with you directing future actors, right? It's like, hey,
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely, totally. That's, yeah.
and it's almost like the film medium maybe is advantageous, if you will. It's a good medium for conveying deafness. You know, because I mean, movies start out with silent pictures, right? Silent movies.
Actually, yeah, let me tell you one thing. The reason why we came up with the story of a deaf, having the main character being deaf, it was, I have to be honest, it was the idea of playing with sound design. I remember watching movies like The Conversation by Coppola, or Lost Highway by the amazing David Lynch that passed away. Like, I've been crying since then.
Last week.
Yeah, like watching those movies and seeing the sound design, like the fact that the character is there, it gives me so many opportunities to play with the sound design and be
Yeah.
expressive, and so yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I actually, it's kind of funny. I don't know why it's not a thing that people explore, filmmakers explore a little bit more, because there is a lot in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and sound design is just as important. The sound is just as important as they say. You know, it's half the movie or more, right?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, talking about the sound design, but then also some more of the production design. uh, uh, wasn't your ratio SD? Wait, your
Yeah.
ratio.
We went for three. Yeah.
Did
We
you
went.
did you
It's like
shoot
the
and film?
ratio. No. We didn't.
Oh,
We actually should. We actually should. We couldn't afford film. So what we did,
right. It's
we
just I was
asked.
wondering why you're in 4:3.
Yeah, we are 4:3, but we asked Panavision to let us use some specific lenses that they are from the 70s, that they open point 0.4, and the look of it is very creamy. It's very like film-like. And we decided that the ratio was going to be 4:3, not 16:9. And the reason why is because we really want to feel like the character that is inside the frame and is claustrophobic, and
Ah,
is so that was the idea. We didn't want to have so we actually, the first part of the movie, we are always in his room and we are on him, and so that was the idea. We decided that that was going to be the right choice, and the cinematographer. After speaking to her, we decided Ana Franquesa Solano, fantastic cinematographer, and yeah, it worked very well in my opinion.
yeah, ours too. Loved it. It gave it also a little bit of a not a period piece, but you know, it gave it a setting and a mood. And in this case, now you pointed out to me, yeah, it's the main character's kind of world, a little bit, you know, limited because of the loss of hearing, right? It works
Also,
well.
also to make the movie timeless. We didn't want to be very specific. We didn't. We of course you are in 2018 or 2019, but it could be the 90s, could be the 80s. We decided not to use phones or devices. We decide that ratio of the we try to avoid.
That's a good point. The only technology is the wiretap in the movie, if you will.
Totally, and actually, of course, Daniel, as a deaf person, he used the phone a lot. Is the way that he communicates, texting, and everything. We decided to avoid that. First of all, because I have to be honest, phones and computers, they're ugly. They look ugly on the screen. I don't know what it is. I don't like them. I mean, you are in a movie theater, you don't want to watch a phone. I don't know
Oh, no,
why.
right. You know what? I didn't even notice, but now that we talk, I didn't miss it at all. So I'm happy you
Yeah,
didn't.
right. Yeah.
Even
We
this,
went around. Yeah, it was difficult to not use phones because there are many situations that could fit with the phone. It will be very easy for him to express himself, but we decide not to go there and try to create aesthetic that is more like timeless, and we don't know where we are. And yeah, again, phones on the screen, they are quite ugly.
yeah.
It's nothing worse than you are in a movie theater, beautiful movie theater with a big screen, and there is a close up of a phone. You are like, what a
Yeah,
waste! What a
right.
waste!
Right. What a way. And don't take me out of the movie. I look at my phone enough. Right.
There you
Excellent.
go. There you go.
Well,
There you go.
your
Yeah.
your attention to detail across the movie is fantastic, and I'm now even realizing more
Thank
so.
you.
Are you the writer or one of the writers? Who's the writers?
The writer is Jason Furlani. Jason Furlani did the script writing. Obviously, the way I work is, I think directing start when you start, in my the way I work, when you start writing the script, you are already like doing your work as a director, and working with the writer back and forth. through the process, but also keeping the writer during the shoot.
Yeah.
While I was shooting, I have Jason on the phone all the time with me, and we were making decisions. Like I was, Jason, this line is not working. What can we do about it? So yeah, it is. Yeah, we work together very well.
Well,
Jason and Fulani, fantastic. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he did it's a wonderful script. You know, and you guys really knew the world so well because of, you know, living in New York, doing your research,
Yeah.
working as you wrote. But I even got to point out, you know, that scene between the accountant. What's the accountant's character's name? What's the two people?
Ethan.
Ethan and Bruce, right?
Correct.
Ethan and his mom
Ethan.
at the table counting the money, and he
Yeah,
says, "Hey, I met a guy, and
yeah,
just
yeah.
wonderful, right?"
Yeah, it is. It is great. It is great. It is great.
And even though they might be involved in some illegal activity, then they just become endearing, and you're on their team.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's nothing. I was going to say it's nothing wrong with being illegal. I'm not going to say that, but but almost.
Yeah, they're making a living, they're surviving.
There
Um,
you go. There you go.
and then I have to point out too a favorite scene. There's a few favorite scenes.
Okay, great.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
making this movie. That's one of them. When they go to the movie and the guy says,
Yeah.
"Hey, be quiet," and he's like, you know, what's the he's like, he's deaf. So why are you talking to him? I'm explaining the movie to him. Oh, okay.
Right. That was a fun one. That was a very fun one to it felt fun while we were doing it. Yeah.
It comes across great. And then I have to share, not to hog the screen time here though. I love the ending of the movie.
Oh, thank you so much. Actually, I like it too. I'm not going to say too much about it, but I
Well,
like
chances are
the
people have already seen the movie if they're watching this Q&A, so we're not spoiling anything.
say that again, please.
People have seen the movie if they're watching this Q&A. We're not spoiling anything.
Oh, great. So I always like movies that they don't finish. For some reason, I love movies that they don't finish with the main character on the screen.
Ah,
That there is a secondary character who learns from them, and that's where I like that. I like those endings. Well, like it's
yeah,
a third party.
and
There is,
you know what else
yeah,
I appreciate that you did well? It's almost a satisfying payoff for me as the audience member because when the cop and the restaurant owner meet a couple times, they're bantering back and forth, right? She's onto him. She
right.
knows him.
Yeah,
And then you pay it
right.
off at the end for us. You know, they come together.
Totally. Actually, look, now if I can talk about the end of the movie, to me, the character of the police guy, he has like those like scores at home, and doesn't have love in his life. And what he learns from Bruce is that he should try to love somebody. So he
Yeah,
decides to go to the taco bar to see that woman, to see what happens, and I leave it there, and whatever happens, yeah. So that was the idea.
fantastic. So how do you feel about the final movie, the result of your finished product?
I feel horrible about it, but that is how it's going to be for the rest of my life. I know that, and I'm not kidding. I do really have problems with with the films that I do, but I guess I learned a lot,
Well,
and
why is that?
probably
I mean, I guess you're, you know, as a filmmaker, you're an artist. You'll never be. You got to let go. You're never gonna be satisfied.
I mean I'm so happy I was able. That was my third film I have been able to put together a film and meet that people. I don't know. I don't know. I was raised Catholic, even though I'm not a Catholic. I guess the idea of suffering and regret is in my blood, and I suffer a lot for it with no reason. Nobody
Yeah,
cares,
you can't help yourself.
but I can help myself. But it is true that when I watch it, there are moments that I feel that they are very special, and that means a lot to me. That is fantastic. So yeah, I don't feel
I get it.
totally
I
like
get it. I get it. You're
good,
never
good.
completely satisfied, but you should be proud. We love the
Thank
movie
you.
here. And before we
Thank you.
close up, maybe one or two more questions or one or two more comments. Speaking of religion and stuff, I love the church. What's the church? Where
Oh,
he sees the ceiling,
yeah.
and then they go to the top
Well,
of the tower.
okay.
Where is
So
that?
the
What is
church,
that?
yeah. So the church. I'm from Barcelona. We have beautiful churches here. Yeah, right. They are
Yeah.
Catholic, most of them.
Right.
In America, you have beautiful churches too. They are like banks. That's a bank.
Yeah.
It's not a church. It's
Right.
like, but in America, it's a huge bank from the is the Wells is the saving American saving bank. No, Williamsburg Saving Bank. So yeah, fantastic, beautiful building. So it's not a church. It's a bank. But yeah,
Wow.
in America, in America, it's almost the same.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Well, fantastic. Well, we love the movie here at SF Indie
Uh,
Fest. What's next for you?
well, I'm really looking. I'm writing a new script. I've been writing for a while, and there is a documentary that also I want to make in Florida. But I don't really have. I don't know if that is going to happen. I'm working in a few projects. What I can say is that my film being in your festival means a lot to us, and is what give us the energy to keep going and try to make other projects. So I'm very thankful for that, for to you guys and whoever is in the audience. Thanks so much.
Right
I
on.
just
Right on.
yeah
Well,
yeah
we're thankful that you submitted to our festival and got into our festival, but also more importantly that you made this movie. You finished the
yeah
movie.
yeah yes.
Yeah, right on. Well, hey, that's all the time we have. Great meeting you, Tony.
That was
Congratulations.
great.
Yeah.
Great meeting you. Great meeting you. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. That's been another Q&A for the SF Indie Fest 2025. Catch out more great films at sfindie.com, sfindiefest.com. See you, Tony.
Bye bye.